Human health and environmental health are inseparable. Under the One Health concept, the health of humans, animals, and ecosystems are interconnected. So when we protect one area, we can unintentionally harm another. This leads to our key question: how do we balance human health with the preservation of ecosystems and biodiversity? As populations grow, society often expand agriculture, settlements, and resource attractions through land use change and deforestation. These actions may improve food supply, housing, and access to healthcare in short term. However, over time, they degrade ecosystems and reduce biodiversity. When ecosystems are weakened, the services that protect long-term health also decline, such as clean air and water, stable food production, and natural disease regulation. So this leads to our objectives. First, explain how human health depends on ecosystems, and second, to propose a One Health based strategy that integrates environmental, animal, and human considerations in decision making, and third is to connect these three strategies to relevant sustainable development goals. This matters because biodiversity supports resilience, and when it's lost, vulnerability and health inequities grow, especially for communities that are most dependent on local natural resources.
Imagine this: we solve today's food and health needs, but in this process, we quietly damage the soil, pollute the water, and weaken the biodiversity. Then a few years later, the same system cannot protect human well-being anymore. This is exactly why Strategy 1, which is Sustainable Resource Management, that talks about using soil, water, and biodiversity in ways that keep supporting people for the long term instead of sacrificing them for the short-term output. In this practice, it also shows up that sustainable agriculture meeting food demands while protecting the ecological foundation future generations depend on. A strong real-life example here is that winter cover cropping, especially the cereal rye, pair with better nitrogen timing in corn system. The story here is simple. Where the fields are left bare, leftover nitrogen escapes into the groundwater, but cover crop acts as like the living sponge that absorbs residual nitrogen during high-risk periods and preventing nitrate leaching. This makes it aesthetically powerful that show that nitrate loss can drop without sacrificing the corn yield, so health and productivity can move forward together. And we don't stop here. Through the field management, the landscape measures like riparian, buffer zones, and agroforestry work as natural filters that trap nutrients and sediments before they reach the rivers. When we combine on-field retention with these landscape safety nets, we build resilience, cleaner water, healthier soils, and stronger ecosystem services that support long-term human well-being. And before coming to an end of the Strategy 1, I also would like to conclude that we have achieved 5 SDGs here. The first SDG is zero hunger by practicing the winter cover crops to make that the food is being sustainable, the food supply is there. After that, SDG 3, good health and well-being, where we prevent nitrate loss to the groundwater so that we reduce the contaminant in the water. After that, SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, we don't produce leaching to the water. And the last two is life below water, SDG 14 and SDG 15, life on land, where we both create a healthy ecosystem. And
Humans depend heavily on ecosystems for clean water, food, and disease regulation. But when health and economic policies are made separately, they can unintentionally harm the environment. For example, agricultural expansion or palm oil production may improve food supply and income in the short term, but poorly regulated practices can cause deforestation, water pollution, and increased contact between humans and wildlife, raising the risk of emerging diseases. To address this, Strategy 2 focuses on integrative policy and governance under the One Health framework. This approach promotes collaboration between human health, veterinary, and environmental sectors, ensuring that policies do not improve one area at the expense of biodiversity. Real-world examples include forest buffer regulations that reduce zoonotic spillover and recycling palm oil waste into biofuels to reduce pollution. This strategy aligns with SDG 3 by protecting public health, SDG 12 through responsible production, and SDG 15 through conserving ecosystems.
This strategy focuses on knowledge and community engagement to balance human health needs with the protection of ecosystem and biodiversity. Firstly, it aims to educate people about the link between environmental condition and human health. When people understand how pollution or environmental damage can affect their well-being, they are more likely to support sustainable action. In addition, the strategy encourages community to take part in decisions that affect their local environment. The core idea is that awareness leads to responsibility. Engagement helps build trust and create shared commitment to protecting both nature and human health. In practice, this strategy includes education program, awareness campaign, community workshop, and sharing scientific information in a simple and accessible way. It involves government, researchers, public health, communicators, and local or indigenous communities. As a result, people became more supportive of biodiversity conservation and sustainable living, leading to a healthier communities and stronger long-term environmental protection.
All these strategies collectively contribute to improvement in our environment, health, community, and economy through different but interconnected pathways. Environmental preservation and conservation are achieved through the enforcement of laws such as Environmental Quality Act 1974, which provides a legal framework to control pollution and protect our natural resources. At the same time, the health of both animals and humans are safeguarded through the sustainable agricultural practices, particularly by ensuring adequate nutrition and by conserving disease reservoir to reduce the risk of disease transmission. Furthermore, the sharing of knowledge with the communities enhances overall understanding of nature, which in turn supports grassroots movement. This grassroots initiative not only strengthen community engagement, but also help boost tourism, contributing positively to economic growth. Ultimately, all these strategies create a structured pathway for integrating the One Health approach into decision-making process, simultaneously addressing human health while ensuring the protection of ecosystem and biodiversity.